Okay, the last measurement in measures of central tendency adalah mode. So mode ini adalah kekerapan, which is mode is the observation that occur most often or has the largest frequency in a data set. So mode ni dia senang nak tengok, maksudnya data yang mempunyai kekerapan yang paling tinggi, ataupun frekuensi yang paling tinggi, kita panggil data tu sebagai model data. Maksudnya data yang paling kerap exist dalam kita punya study. Okay, so advantages for mode is easy to understand. It's very easy because we know that mode is about the most often occur data. Okay, kekerapan yang tinggi. Extreme value does not affect its values, of course, because extreme value takkan ada kaitan dengan kekerapan sesuatu data tu dalam kita punya study. Okay, so kita hanya melihat menentukan mode data ini berdasarkan kekerapan dia berlaku. So yang paling kerap ataupun yang paling tinggi frekuensi dia, itu adalah data yang kita panggil dia sebagai mode. Okay. The mode is an actual value. Of course actual value because it's a data itself. Okay, kita cuma tengok data mana yang paling kerap. Contohnya kalau kita kaji tentang kekerapan pelajar untuk makan, katakanlah most of the pelajar cakap 3 kali makan, so the mode is 3 lah. Okay, so it's a actual data, can be used to describe both quantitative and qualitative data. Okay, so disadvantages for mode is it can be more than one modal value in a data set. Sometimes sesuatu data tu berlaku pada kekerapan yang sama. Contohnya katakanlah 3 kali makan dengan 2 kali makan. 2 kali makan ada 50 student yang vote. 3 kali makan pun 50 student yang vote. So kita kata dia ada mempunyai 2 mode value. Okay, so dia disadvantage lah sebab kita tak boleh nak tentukan yang mana satu yang kekerapan yang paling tinggi sebenarnya. Okay, in group data, the value of the mode can only be estimated. So sama macam median, dalam group data, mode hanya boleh diestimate dengan menggunakan formula. Okay, dan formula dia pun similar macam formula kita mencari median kepada group data. Mode is not suitable for other kind of statistical calculation. So mode ni tak boleh digunakan pakai dalam calculation statistik untuk kita buat sesuatu conclusion atau interpretation of study. Okay, dia sometimes not suitable or not relevant. Alright, so kita nak tengok for ungroup data macam mana kita nak tentukan yang mana satu merupakan mode. So back to the definition of mode is the most often occur data. Maksudnya data yang paling banyak dalam awak punya study. So it just direct observation. Okay, so awak tengok dekat yang pertama ni, berapa data yang paling banyak. So awak tengok 3 berlaku 3 kali. Okay, 5 sekali, 2 sekali, 0 sekali, 1 sekali, 4 sekali. Tapi 3 berlaku 3 kali. So the mode is 3. That's why we call the mode as actual value because it takes the data itself. Okay, and then for the second data here, okay, you see 3 happen twice, 5 also happen twice. So the mode for this data is 3 and 5. So sometimes our survey, our study, our data might have 2 mode value. Okay, sebab kekerapan dia sama, 3 pun berlaku 2 kali, 5 pun berlaku 2 kali, dan itulah frekuensi yang paling tinggi. So kedua-duanya adalah mode value. Okay, so kalau awak tengok dekat nombor 3 ni, 11 berlaku 2 kali, 14 berlaku 2 kali, 13 berlaku 2 kali, 15 berlaku 2 kali. Maksudnya all data has the same frequency. Therefore for this case there is no mode value. No mode value. Tiada data yang mempunyai kekerapan yang paling tinggi kerana semua data mempunyai kekerapan yang sama. Okay, there is no mode value. Okay, here we have 2 value that have the same frequency and the higher frequency. This one we have only 1 mode value where it has the highest frequency in the study. But then for the third one, all the data has the same frequency, therefore we don't have any mode value. Okay, so ini adalah dia punya cara macam mana awak nak tengok mode for ungroup data. It's just direct observation. Okay, for the ungroup data with frequency, okay, ungroup data yang kita ada frequency distribution here. So nak tengok sangat senang because you only need to see on the number of frequency. Okay, because we know that mode has the highest frequency. So kita check mana data yang mempunyai highest frequency. So kalau awak tengok kat sini, highest frequency is 21, so it's for 1. Therefore our mode value is 1. Okay, 1 day ni because dia study lah. Okay, dia ada study dia kaji tentang kekerapan student tidak hadir ke kelas. Okay, so student yang hadir semuanya 20 orang. Student yang tak hadir 1 hari 21 orang. Student yang tak hadir 2 hari 15 orang. Student yang tak hadir 3 hari 10 orang. Therefore the mode value is 1 day because paling ramai student tak hadir selama 1 hari. So it's a mode. Okay, this is how you declare your mode value for the ungrouped data. So now we go to group data. So for group data, we only can estimate the value of mode by using the formula, and the formula is similar to the median. Okay, so you have the step number 1, where the step number 1 is you need to find the class with the largest frequency, and we call it as a modal class. If just now in median, we find the median class, okay, by taking the frequency divided by 2, you get where is the median class. Now you need to know what is the modal class. Where is the modal class? So how to know the modal class is by looking at the frequency of that class. Okay, the highest frequency means that that class is the modal class. So if you refer to this table, you can see that the higher frequency in this table is 14. 14 here is the highest frequency. Frequency yang paling tinggi dalam banyak-banyak ni adalah 14. Okay, if in median, we need the cumulative frequency to find median, but for mode, we don't need the cumulative frequency. We just need the class interval, we need the class boundary, and also the frequency of the class is enough. Okay, the first step is you need to know where is the modal class by looking at the frequency. The class with the higher frequency, the class with the highest frequency is the modal class. So kita boleh tengok secara clearly dekat sini the modal class is this one because the frequency of this class is the highest, which is 14. So we take note, kita tandakan ini adalah sebagai modal class. Itu step yang pertama. The second step is you need to find the mode by using this formula. The formula is LMO, where LMO is a lower class boundary of the modal class. That's why it's important for you to know what is the modal class. So now we already know what is our modal class, so we need the lower class boundary. So this one is the lower class boundary of the modal class. So we put it inside the formula plus with delta 1. Sorry, we call it as a delta 1. Okay, so delta 1 here is a difference between frequency of modal class, perbezaan antara frequency of modal class and frequency of the class before it. Okay, delta 1 ni adalah perbezaan frequency modal class dengan frequency kelas sebelum dia. So modal class punya frequency is 14, sebelum dia punya frequency is 8. So perbezaan means you need to subtract, tolak. So 14 minus with 8, so you have your delta 1 is equal to 6. While your delta 2 is the difference between frequency of modal class and the frequency of the class after it. Okay, so we have the frequency of modal class 14 here, and the frequency of the class after it is 10. So 14 minus with 10, you have 4. So this one is delta 2. So you just need to put the delta 1 and delta 2 inside the formula here. You have delta divided by delta 1 plus delta 2. So delta 1 we have 6 divided by 6 plus with delta 2 equal to 4. Multiply with the class size of the modal class. So nak cari class size macam mana? The upper boundary minus with the lower boundary. So you have your class size is equal to 10. And then when you put already all the value inside the formula, you can just calculate it and you have the modal value is equal to 65.5. Means that most of the student mark is 65.5. So that is the conclusion or the interpretation that you can do for your study. Okay, because the mode value represent the value that is oftenly occur in your study, yang kekerapan dia sangat tinggi. Maksudnya markah 65.5 ini adalah markah yang kebanyakan student dapat. Okay, that is the conclusion that we can make. Okay, but then for group data, we can only estimate the value of mode, the mode value by using the formula. Okay, so it's important for you to understand all the term in the formula, how to use the term, and it's important for you to know what is your model class in case you want to measure the mode, and it's important for you to know what is the median class if you want to measure the median. Alright.